Hello everyone, my name is Robert Kubovich. I'm one of the solution engineers here with Conga, and today I'm going to take you through a demo of Conga Composer. I want to show you how Conga Composer can accelerate your sales process and reduce your admin work on a day-to-day. After the session, we will be taking Q&A, so if you have any questions, please put your questions in the question box in the GoToMeeting webinar session. So there's a few examples I'd like to take you through today. One is a proposal and via DocuSign or an e-signature platform. Another is an invoice sent via email, an account brief that you can actually download within your browser, and a performance report or global reporting with Conga Composer. Now, the best thing about Conga Composer is that it's a scalable and versatile product, so it can be used on any object for any use cases. So these are the top examples on how people utilize this today. So the first example is a proposal, and here I'm on a standard opportunity within Salesforce. And how this is configured is I have several different people associated within the contact roles. So I'd like to actually send this document to the primary contact, in this case it's Michael Phelps, for signature, and have it route to someone internally, which is myself, for approval. So I'm going to click this Enhance Proposal button. What that'll do is open up the Conga Composer interface, and there's a number of ways on how you can actually configure Composer to behave with your end users. So the experience is very versatile on your configuration. So once this is done merging, it'll open up the DocuSign interface with everything predefined for us, so we can review if in the event we want to make some changes, and then proceed with the e-signature process. So attached in the top left is that document that it was merged, and in the right you can see who are the recipients that this is being sent to. So I'll send that out. And here within the email I've received that document as a customer for signature, so I can review the actual document. So this is the document here that Conga Composer have actually generated. So you can see we have some information from Salesforce being merged in. And then this is the actual proposal. This pulls in from all the line items that are associated from the opportunity and automatically groups them. So we're grouping on the different product families in this case and the subtotals. You can definitely customize this to group if you wish on whatever field in Salesforce you'd like. And then we have a nice summary of the purchase here, and then the actual signature box below. So I'm going to go ahead and adopt that signature as the customer, and that'll automatically route to someone internally on how you specify automatically. So now as the internal person, I can go ahead and see that same document, scroll down to the appropriate and see where they've already signed and continue with the signature process. So next, in the event you don't want to send something for e-signature, there's a number of different distribution methods with Conga Composer. So if you prefer email, you can have a different button that emails out. So here in this case, I'll actually send an invoice. You can always utilize this for a quote or what have you. So I'll click that invoice button. It's a very similar looking document. It's just behaved to actually email out. So this is automatically going to choose the correct invoice template for me to prevent errors for the end users to potentially select the incorrect document. Here within the email, it's made to that primary contact again. It can definitely be configured to pull in and email out all of the contacts that are associated with the opportunity if you wish. But here, a unique thing, we can actually merge fields from Salesforce right in the email template. Because I have information nicely bolded, information from Salesforce within the subject as well. And then that document's actually attached. So there's a sample of that invoice document, again grouped, And we can bring in images from Salesforce as well of your inventory. So I'll go ahead and send that out. And you always have the option to edit that email if you wish prior to send, or add any other recipients. So the next example is an account brief located on the account. So the nice thing about the account, an account has many things that are related to that actual account, where in this case we have contacts, several different cases, contracts, opportunities, quotes. Conga can actually merge in information from multiple related lists in a single document. So here I'll click that account brief, and this will actually open up the interface. So I want to talk through the interface a little bit, because Conga Composer can actually do a little bit more than just document generation. So just to explain what you see here is Conga can actually display several different templates. So if you want your end user to select and provide them a list of a couple of different templates, maybe a PowerPoint version, a standard template, or maybe a customized version, you can utilize that. And then we're actually converting behind the scenes on the fly this document into a PDF. So you have a lot of flexibility for creating the document in Word prior and then merging it to Adobe PDF. And the activity logging as well. This is predefined based on the configuration of this button. So it's automatically going to log an activity within Salesforce saying that the account brief is generated, and create a follow-up task 7 days later in this case to make sure the rep follows up upon that. And we can also save a copy for audit trail purposes. So you can save a copy of that document right back in the notes and attachments. You can send it into Salesforce Content, Chatter, also Google Drive and Box and Dropbox. And then update fields. So Conga Composer can actually update these fields within Salesforce, and we can update any field within there. So if you wanted to update a date, if you wanted to update a status, you can definitely configure it to do that. So I'm actually going to merge and email this one as well. Same kind of concept. And you have the option to merge and download as well. I'll just go ahead and merge that so you can see that example, and then attach that document is that account brief. So a couple of things again, images of the actual address. We have those contacts that are associated, the opportunities, and dynamically calculating the total cases and orders. And the great thing is if you didn't have any opportunities or cases, these tables would never appear. So this is fully dynamic in that, so you don't have to make any alterations to the document after the fact. So the last example I want to show you is a global report, as we call it. And in the previous examples, I'm on a single specific opportunity or an account, and I'm merging information from that particular record. In the event, I want to bring in information from multiple objects or multiple records within the system. We can create a report, so really enhancing that Salesforce reporting capabilities that you have, creating multiple separate type of disjoint reports into a single report here. So I'm going to click this performance report. You can create as many of these solutions as you wish, but what this will do is actually calculate into an Excel, so we can leverage all of the calculations within Excel to provide some graphing and powerful Excel functions. But it's pulling all of the last year's information and comparing it to this year's, so we can see how we're performing as a company and across multiple product families. So here I have this year's sales compared to last year's, my phones, my laptops, and seeing what we're performing well within the organization. A nice graph. And then even ability to group, so we can see per stage all the different opportunities that were within there with some conditional formatting. So those are some of the examples that you can utilize Conga Composer today. Again, it provides a lot of versatility for any document that's generated out of your Salesforce reporting, really enhancing your experience as an end user and saving you time. So with that, I'll go ahead and open it up to some Q&A. So one of the first questions is, can Conga pull in information from any object? And the answer for that is Conga can actually pull information from any object, whether it's a standard or a custom object. So we can pull in information from many different areas. As long as that data lives within Salesforce, we'd be able to pull that. Another question is regarding if this works in Classic. So it is backwards compatible with Classic and in Lightning. So you can switch between the two and it'll work in both environments. Another question we have about is the activities here. So the question is, will it save on the contact's activity history, or does it log in the notes and attachments, or is that defined in the configuration? So regarding that, you can specify the activity to be logged in the activities section of the record, and log an activity within the notes and attachments. So we'll log an activity with a predefined name in the activities section and store the attachments in notes and attachments as well. And you can configure that a number of different ways within the configuration of that button. Another question similar, can Conga merge information from different objects into one document? So we can pull in information from multiple objects into that single document, so absolutely. Another question revolves around how easy is it to set up with e-signature. So in the e-signature solution that I provided earlier, it's just a matter of configuring it behind the scenes. So it's a very easy configuration, whereas this says merge and download, and we can configure it to merge and e-signature. So it's just a matter of adding a few items to the button to configure it to whom it's supposed to go to. It's only a couple of minutes of configuration typically needed. And then another question about how can I set a primary contact by using a customized URL. Regarding that, you can typically for the in this example that I showed, the primary contact is being set by the contact roles within that's related to the opportunity. So in that case, it's just a matter of pulling in and setting that primary contact. If you weren't using contact roles, you can pull in information from a different related item and set that if you don't use contact roles. So we're just setting it within here of the contact roles and taking that and configuring it to that primary. An example of merging multiple documents. If you had 10 documents and want to merge documents 1, 3, and 5. So in this environment, I don't have that example to show, but Conga can absolutely merge in several different documents. So in this case, providing a list of 10 documents. And the end user can select maybe the first one, maybe a cover page, a terms and conditions, and the quote, and they have the ability to remove or add in to create a package of information of that document. And Conga will actually merge and assemble that into a single PDF. So effectively there's 10 separate documents for the back end, but the end user, when it's distributed, they see one document. You have the ability to configure that. And then looks like there's no other questions here that I can see. I'll provide a couple of extra minutes or seconds to have any questions trickle in. Another question looks like around communities. So a Conga Composer can definitely work with communities as well. So you can log into that community and generate a document, for instance, that's tailored to yourself as well. A lot of our customers do utilize the communities as well. Okay. Looks like there's no other questions, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the webinar. This was recorded, so we're going to actually send that out. If you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll route the questions accordingly into the appropriate person. Thank you. Thank you for attending.